Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share my April TBR with you. I know this is completely unrealistic because not only can I not read this many books in a month, but I am also going on a week-long trip out of state, and I'm probably not going to read it all on that trip. So I'm definitely not going to be reading all of these in April, but I hope to get to them, or at least as many of them as I possibly can. And I don't know, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for the best, but I do have a plan. And it all goes back to what I'm doing on my Patreon for the month of April, and that is a book box subscription clear out, meaning that I want to clear out all, or as many as I can, books that I have received through book boxes. So I am subscribed to Book of the Month. I pay for it with my own money. I will have my code linked down below that gets you your first book for $9.99. And then I'm also sort of subscribed to Aardvark Book Club, which I work with on my podcast. So I do not pay for that subscription myself. They actually work with me, and I do ads for them on my podcast, sharing their picks each month. And because they, are so gracious, they allow me to choose books to add to my collection and read and talk about. So I have a very large stack of books. So I'm hoping to only be reading Book of the Month and Aardvark books in the month of April. The only exception to that is for my in-person book club, of course, which has become such a huge part of my reading and my friendships and just my joy. So I will be reading a different book other than a Book of the Month or Aardvark, and that is In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. I did read The House on the Cerulean Sea, and I really enjoyed that book. I had Under the Whispering Door, but I ended up getting rid of that book without reading it, like unhauling it. But my book club has decided to try In the Lives of Puppets, and I waited for the paperback edition. It's kind of longer, it's a little sci-fi, it's a little weird. I have not read the back of the book. I do not know what this book is about. All I know is that my book club chose it, and I'm going to do my best to read it. So let's read the first little paragraph. A real boy and his wooden heart, no strings attached. Deep in the heart of a forest, in a strange little home built in the branches of trees, is a family assembled from spare parts. 3 robots, fatherly inventor android Giovanni Lawson, a pleasantly sadistic nurse machine, a small vacuum desperate for love and attention, and a human, Victor Lawson. Wow, quite an interesting setup we have, but I'm very excited to read it and discuss it with my book club at the end of April. So I will be making this like probably my first read of the month. We shall see, but I definitely want to give myself time to get through it. And then everything else is Book of the Month or Aardvark. So we have a lot to get through. And I have a plan, and the next video you will hopefully see after this video is me reading the first chapter of all of these books, because it's my goal to either read them or get them off my shelf. I'm hoping that I want to read all of these, but is that realistic? Probably not. So I'm going to be doing a try a chapter with all of these books, and then dividing them into ones that I'm actually going to read and ones that I'm okay to unhaul. And then I'm going to be doing a giveaway over on my Patreon for the ones that I no longer am interested in. So let's just go ahead and dive into the stack. I have no idea what order I'm going to read these in. I have no idea which ones I'm actually going to read versus not read. Let's say they're all bangers and I want to read all of them. I have no idea which ones I'm actually going to be reading, but I'm hoping to do reading vlogs for the majority of them. So stay tuned for the first chapter. Stay tuned for the reading vlogs. Let's dive into the books. The first one at the top of the stack is Baby X by Kira Pinkoff, and this is a sci-fi thriller, which is one of my favorite kinds of thrillers, sci-fi. It's about this world where they can take any little bit of you and clone you. Or it says biological matter could be used to create life. Stolen celebrity DNA sells to the highest bidder. So it's all about like, I don't know, like, should that be okay? But it's reminding me a little bit of John Mars, The One, and I really liked that. So I'm hoping that I really like this one too. And I also love this cover. It kind of reminds me of Saint X's cover. Next on the stack is Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead by Jenny Hollander. This is a thriller book, and I know it had like a Christmas Eve tie-in. 9 years ago, with the world's eyes on her, Charlie Cobalt fled. The press and the police called her a witness to the terrible events that took place at her elite graduate school. But Charlie knew there was more to her story, if only she could make sense of how it all unfolded. And it says, she has everything to live for and everything to hide. Next is Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. I have read some of her middle grade stuff. I have never read anything adult by her, but it's the author of like The Bear and the Nightingale and stuff like that. This reminded me of a combination of Divine Rivals and The Women by Kristen Hanna. So I'm stretching outside my comfort zone for this one. During the Great War, a combat nurse searches for her brother, believed dead in the trenches despite eerie signs that suggest otherwise. All right, a few backlist aardvarks that I have is The Favorites by Rosemary Hennigan. This is also like an academia setting. It was her story first before I made it mine. Most students would kill to be accepted into the prestigious law and literature cohort at Franklin University, but for Jessie Mooney, enrollment in the course is about more than elite campus status, rigorous thought, and professional connections. It's her chance to get close to charismatic Professor Jay Crane and take him down. Also, Love Interest is a little bit of a backlist by Claire Gilmore. I have all the stuff in here. Let's see. Cassidy Matlin has always preferred the reliability of numbers. Now a 24-year-old finance expert working in Manhattan, she wonders if the open project manager position at her company, Magazine Powerhouse LC Publications, is a sign from the universe to pursue a career with a little more sparkle. And I think it's like, you know, office love. So we'll see. I have been really excited to read this, Sugar Baby by Celine St. Clair, a bold, intoxicating, it's a debut. It says, an unflinching portrayal of high-paid sex work in the age of the internet. Where You End by Abbott Collier, which is a twin thriller amnesia story. Let's see. Oh, a spellbinding fiction debut, because I guess the author is used to writing nonfiction. Inspired by true events, an unusual form of amnesia derails the lives of identical twins, forcing them to face the indelible, dangerous shadow of the past. Had no idea it was based on true events. That's so interesting. Very backlist, The Reformatory by Tana Marie Dew, and this takes place in Gracetown, Florida in June 1950. And you have a 12-year-old Robbie Steffens who was sentenced to 6 months at the Gracetown School for Boys for kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister. And he begins his journey further into the terrors of the Jim Crow South and the very real horror of the school they call the Reformatory. Also, Valley Verified, which is when a fashion writer dives headfirst into the cutthroat Silicon Valley tech world. Also have A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams, which is one of my most anticipated. It's a little magical realism, a little romance, one florist, one pianist, one love story, 100 years in the making. A very backlist aardvark, The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. A deliciously twisty story of friendship, retribution, and betrayal about a homeless woman fleeing a dangerous past and the wealthy society wife she saves from drowning, who pulls her into a dark web of secrets and lies. I also have Rabbit Hole by Kate Brody, which is about a sister that falls down a rabbit hole, like a Reddit rabbit hole, about her sister that has died, and she finds out, you know, different things. And yeah, it's about a critique of the internet's voyeurism. So it's a character study of a mind twisted by grief and a page-turning mystery that's as addictive as a late night Reddit binge. So now I think I'm going into my book of the month books. The first one I have is The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. This is the second book. It follows the maid, and it's a short little cozy mystery. A new mess, a new mystery. It's up to Molly the maid to uncover the truth, no matter how dirty. So I know the maid was super popular, but I have not heard anybody talking about this. So, or maybe I'm just missing it, but I'm excited. I also am stepping a little outside my comfort zone. I've never read about this before. Ready or Not by Cara Bastione. Love this cover. It screams spring. A surprise pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in this heartfelt, slow burn, friends to lovers romance. For the book of the month, book of the year, finalists, you get to choose one, and I chose Wayward, which everybody in my book club should be very happy that I chose this because so many of them have read it and loved it. Samantha, Rachel, Autumn, I'm talking to you. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this again outside my comfort zone, but I don't know. I've been stepping outside of my comfort zone and it's been working out. So I hope I love this one because I do love the cover. 2 more to go. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Been hearing great things about this. Thriller podcast. What if you thought you murdered your best friend and if everyone else thought so too? And what if the truth doesn't matter? Oh, I'm so excited about this one, y'all. And the last book here on my stack is Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. Another thriller that I'm so excited about. She will kill your worst enemy. All you have to do is kill hers. So like I said, if you have any thoughts about any of these books, whether you think I will like them or not like them, leave them in the comment section down below. But I will be doing a try a chapter to kind of weed through and see if I am genuinely still interested or if the writing is gripping me, if I'm excited about it, you know, all of that fun stuff. So stay tuned for that video. But other than that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.